Hi everybody, and welcome back to BI Navigation's financial reporting video series. Pete Smith here, and in this video I'm going to take you through a real top level Power BI financial reporting model, just to show you how simple that can be when the end result is built, and how much how far superior it is to an Excel based solution. We're going to start off, as you'd expect, with your ledger data and a trial balance. We're then going to build a structure file, a structure spreadsheet. Could be a spreadsheet, could be data held in SQL Server or some other database software, but I'll use a spreadsheet as the example here because that's familiar to us all. So the structure will hold details about the companies that you run, company 1, company 2, company 3, details about the departments that you have in those companies, details about the formats that you have, the reporting formats. So the top level format will be a standard P&L account with net turnover, gross profit percentages, and so on. But individual departments may need slightly different formats. They may need a number of widgets sold or profit per widget and those sorts of statistics. So the structure builds all of that as lines. There are no numbers in there, it's just a structure. What we then do on a regular basis is we send that data through to the Power BI service. Your Power BI model, once it's built, will sit in Microsoft's cloud, and you'll access it in there. It can be accessed on your desktop, but it's far faster to access it once it's in the cloud. And once the data's in the cloud, you'll be able to view, slice and dice your data, twist and turn it around in a way that you just wouldn't be able to do in Excel. You'll have lots of internal users, managers, users of your figures within the organization. You'll no longer need to distribute PDFs and spreadsheets to those guys. They'll just have a Power BI license, which is not expensive, and access the software themselves. That will also take away quite a few questions that finance guys get when a manager goes, well, how am I trending? How did I do last year? How did I do 2 years ago? And he'll be able to do all that himself without wasting finance time, which is fantastic. Problem though is that you'll still have a need to distribute externally. There are ways to allow external users into your Power BI service. But it's fairly fraught with security issues, and I personally wouldn't recommend it. But there is a tool within Power BI called paginated reports. It's a bit of a silly name for a thing, really. Read it as a PDF writer. It does more than that. It can send data out to Word and data out to Excel and so on. But just read it as a PDF writer. So when your accounts are all prepared and done, you'll generate the PDFs or the paginated reports and email those off to those users. Very quick, very easy. There's no scheduling on that in Power BI at the moment, but I would expect that to happen fairly soon, probably within the next 12 months. And then you can just time those PDFs to be sent at such a point in the month, and everything's automated and all clear and easy. You can see that this is a much simpler model than the Excel structure, than the Excel based model. It's an automated model. The data will move from your ledgers and the structure overnight, typically. Overnight, it can be done manually. You can have a single refresh, but it can be automated so that it just refreshes overnight. During the time when you're preparing your accounts and you want to see the results of the ledgers in the accounting system or in the accounts reports, then the software can be refreshed manually, and that's a relatively quick process, and you can see the information almost real time, or as real time as your ledgers are preparing it. As I said a few minutes ago, there's no requirement for any internal distribution, assuming that we've licensed those managers for use in Power BI. Incidentally, and as a side point, managers will benefit from Power BI away from financial reporting as well. So Power BI models could be written to, deep dive the profitability of their products, profitability by customer. It's what Power BI is very, very good at. All we need is the data and model it. And the same license that the guys would buy to access a financial reporting thing, the license is all paid for, so they could fill their boots with lots of insights into their world. The model's scalable. It'll handle an awful lot of businesses and an awful lot of history. I worked in the motor trade for 30 years, and when I put Power BI into play, I brought 20 years worth of data into the model, and it all ran very, very quickly, very, very fast. Now that might sound a little bit geeky, but it did have a purpose. In 2018, for any of you Brits watching this video, Brexit happened to us. The motor trade is a fickle place financially at the best of times. Not more so than when Brexit happened, and it was just useful to look back at 2007-8, which was the last Armageddon that happened, and just see how we came out of that financial crisis at the time. And it gave us a lot of pointers and a lot of steers to manage the business out of a national crisis. Had I not had Power BI, we'd have still done the exercise, but it would have taken an awful lot longer. Going back and digging data out from 2007 and 2018 is not terribly easy, but it was all at my fingertips, and we were able to get to the solution to the problem very, very, very quickly with the insights that the financial reporting module gave us. And then if we've got to change the structure, well, that's fine. It's fairly easy. It's a few rows on a spreadsheet, as you'll see when we deep dive the model. Fairly easy to introduce a new ledger code, for example. You insert it into the mapping page and map it up to Power BI and refresh up, and it's all done. It's all there already. So I hope you've enjoyed this really quick overview as to how Power BI can help with financial reporting. In the next video, we're going to have a little look at some of the solutions out there and why this is difficult. Because the initial modelling can be difficult. It's all overcomable, all surmountable, but there are some things where you take Power BI out of the box and it just doesn't do accounting data as well as one might expect. So thank you for now, goodbye, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.